Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to get on here real quick and do a few readings about Ivanka and her little darling husband having to be subpoenaed. I kind of want to see a little bit about what they're doing and what they're going to be doing. I know I don't have any makeup on, and I know you guys don't care. So there you have it. But let's look at some situationals and see what's going on and see how they're going to what they're going to do to the grand jury investigation with Jack Smith. How's that? I know. I'm excited. And Mr. Dumpy Bump is on his Truth Lie social. He is just going crazy. I read it so you don't have to. I watch TikTok so you don't have to. But yeah, it's going crazy. So let's see. I'm going to pull and see what's going to happen. Karma. First card up is karmic. Well. Negotiator. Bargaining. Negotiating and bargaining with the grand jury. That's very interesting. We're also doing invitation, rescue, and others involved. Ooh, they're going to name some other people. They are going to testify. Waves of emotions coming for the Trumpety Trump. On that aspect, we also have access granted. So that tells me they're going to also go in and testify. Access granted to all the information. Let's see. The drama queen. That's probably Ivanka. Sold out. I love it for him. Roller coaster. Oh my goodness. They're definitely going to have a lot. The mental prison and lockdown. So I do think whatever they have to say to the grand jury is going to put the little cherry on top. Because the proposal is coming. The things are on the table. The proposal, the indictments are coming. Yeah. So that's my clarification on what they're going to do and when they go to the grand jury and they testify or do whatever they're supposed to do while you're there. And that's so terrible for Trump, isn't it? Can't imagine being alone with that man at this point in time. Anyways. And next up is, rumor has it that Trump has already hired a few lawyers. They said the names of them, but that they're going to fight and they're going to fight and they're going to fight the indictment. So apparently they know the indictments are coming down as well. So I want to see the trajectory of that, how far they're going to get in their fighting all of this information. So, because I don't feel like they're going to go far. I feel like Jack Smith is heading them up at every turn. Like, I already know your game. I'm going to get ahead of the game. That's what it feels like with Jack. This man does not play at all. All right. Well, interesting enough. Okay, so interesting enough, they're like playing on the emotions. Somehow, some way, they're going to play on emotions about this or what they think and how they feel. What do you think that the country is going to feel like if you do this to them? What, they're going to really try to place that, and they're going to try to smash it and like calm it down and take it back and slow it down. But Jack Smith puts an end to it. Death, end, done. And it only took me 4 cards to get to the end. So I don't see A 4 keeps on coming up, and I don't know if you watched my last video, but the number 4 came up again, and it's coming up again now. 4 cards till the end. 4. There's something really big about the number 4, so let's just remember that as well. And then the 4 of Cups also came up. So there's definitely not enough money for these. Oh, Trump will not have enough money to continue on his charade with all of these attorneys. He's not. 5 of Pentacles. He does not have the money to do this. He's going to try to solicit some more money. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. So, all right. I know this was quick. And hi, everyone. I am going to be on Kevin's channel. I will post in my comments when I go live with him or the video or whatever to let you guys know that I'm going to be over there. I think we're going to do readings for the chat. So that's going to be fun. I very rarely do that. But if you're there, say hi. All right. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Republicans who no longer believe in having a federal republic, stop calling us the left. The left doesn't exist, not the way you're using it. Because what you now call the left is just everybody else who isn't you. It's everybody who isn't watching Hate the World television to get their news. It's everybody else who doesn't want to cancel elections or do away with the idea of a people-run government. Everybody who isn't terrified of doctors or teachers or people who are experts in their field. There is no left versus right, where both sides are equally insane, and there's centrists in the middle. There's one side, a giant group of mostly white people, who appear to want to secede from the Union or destroy it. Then there's some old folks in deep denial who want to find middle ground with that, like the West Virginia Democrat Senator Joe Manchin, who makes over $500,000 a year from his coal company. Now, you know there was a former Exxon lobbyist, and he was caught on tape talking about senators that are critical to Exxon's interests, and he called Joe Manchin the kingmaker. Senator Manchin, the only thing that he's moderate about is the stranglehold fossil fuel has over our climate, a moderate stranglehold. That's a centrist, occupying the middle ground between giant corporations controlling our economy and the rest of us. Regardless of their diversity statements, those big companies' political contributions make very clear how scientific they are about making easy prey of majorities of white people to fight any form of regulation or taxes on them, getting you to unwittingly vote against your own interests again and again because of, ironically, identity politics. All they have to do is get someone to say your implanted trigger words. Socialism. Communism. Anyway, then there's the rest of us. People who got vaccinated in kindergarten and thought that was normal, like wearing underwear and using soap, cooperating with flight attendants when flying through the air in air taxis. You know, modern life. Are you familiar with all this incredible technology? It's like you were just unfrozen, because it's hard to find an explanation for how it's mainly your one monochromatic group that thinks immunization records and little paper masks during a global health crisis is fascism. So the rest of us are going, oh my God, the rules for kindergarten are oppression? Because they're not. And even 5-year-olds know that. But we are wondering, where is your adult supervision? This ongoing temper tantrum, it's not a mystery. You're worried you're never going to be in charge again or the center of attention. But it's okay. When we say save the whales, that does not mean kill the dolphins. And talk about cancel culture. God forbid the rest of us talk about slavery, which begat segregation, which begat the war on drugs, which begat a total meltdown when we suggest funding other social workers besides police officers. You know that would really lighten the load for cops too, right? But we kind of saw what you think of blue uniforms on January 6th. Are you really under the impression that Black Lives Matter is a movement started by Democrats? Which Democrat? Crime Bill Joe Biden or politically savvy prosecutor Kamala Harris? See, this is why some of us think you were really frozen for a few centuries and just got thawed. Black Lives Matter isn't a single organization. It's America's ongoing struggle for basic human rights. Think about it. 400 years of racial terrorism has all kinds of terrible consequences. And yet, 93% of the recent protests were peaceful, the largest in human history, and all of us went to them, other than you. And you were invited. Everybody outside your bubble is united against monoculture. We're not united against Christianity or Christmas or cowboy hats or working for a living or speaking freely without fear of government censorship. We're not united against your gender or your pronoun. We're all for people living as they feel to live, as long as it doesn't take away somebody else's freedom or well-being. So, taking away women's health care, which, by the way, you should know drives abortion rates up, or allowing a gun-crazy vanilla ISIS to take charge of the land of the free and dismantle all our institutions? Are you surprised the rest of us don't want that, what looks to us like the white Taliban? We're literally never going to let that happen. Having a big melting pot nation with freedom of religion, with a separation of church and state, a central government with elected representatives who are not above the law, providing basic services to invest in all our people in exchange for our tax dollars, that's not a Democrat idea. That didn't originate from CNN. Big tech didn't target us all with a meme made by George Soros. Marxists didn't whisper it to us in our dreams, and nobody paid me to say this. Why would they need to? This is just how most people think, who aren't you. Guys, we're not all Democrats, nor liberals. Not all of us like Joe Biden's track record, but we voted for him because we took one look at you and we said, not today, Satan. We love this country. We don't want to see it turn into an idiocracy and water our plants with Gatorade. We want to heal it. There's so many amazing ways that we can learn from the past to understand the present, come together, and build each other up. We want to see this place thrive. So yeah, I know this is hard to hear these days, but we do want a government. And maybe you missed this part because you were stuck in that block of ice, but having one is necessary to the existence of a civilized society. Having a government is the system we who live in societies use to fulfill our collective needs. Taking proper care of ourselves, that's not being entitled. It's being emotionally stable, a wise investor, a real patriot, meaning we love the whole country, all of us. And we want our government to be efficient and advanced, state of the art, and working directly for us. So that means we have to do our job. We got to get big corporate money out of politics. So people like Joe Manchin, Kristen Sinema, the entire Republican Party aren't working for lobbyists against our interests. We got to end gerrymandering. We need term limits. We want corporations and billionaires to pay taxes because we don't want to see our national wealth get hoarded by 600 people or forged into the shape of man's basic psychological insecurity and launched into outer space, forcing us all to witness a man deep in the throes of America's virility crisis, trying and failing to compensate for the impotence of gross materialism. I mean, that guy, he's got more wealth than half the countries on the planet, and that's what he does with it. Does he know our government already went to space in 1961? NASA. That's what a well-funded government program looks like. We can't take any chances. If we close our eyes for a second, odds are you're going to get dressed up in white power cosplay outfits again to storm another building. Guys, the desperation is painful. You've lumped us all into a box called the left. Did you mean the left of the Atlantic? Just call us the USA. It's a great place. You should visit. It's on the other side of the flat earth. There's people here from all over the world, the round one, and we aren't scared of each other because we've spent some time together. And it turns out, regardless of all our differences, we get along pretty well. So we are set on loving each other unconditionally. And you know whose advice that reminds me of? No, not Anderson Cooper. No, not Rachel Maddow or Oprah. Jesus. And you should know where the term the right comes from, too, while we're at it. It comes from the French Revolution, when their National Assembly met to draft their constitution, and aristocrats representing the royal monarchy and absolute obedience to its rule sat on the right. The right wanted their unqualified king to have total authority. Well, it didn't work out so well for him, nor his wife Marie Antoinette. Suffice it to say, he was the last king of France. That way of doing things lost favor with everybody who isn't you a long time ago. But look, some folks still don't want a multicultural society. They don't want to have a democratically elected government. They don't want public health care or public schools. They refuse to go along with any social contract that the majority of people have voted into. They want to be free of all that. No rules. Every man for himself. They like chaos. Or they want to live a simple life as the subjects of a child king with gold-plated furniture. Look, you guys, I'm sure there's a wilderness somewhere out there for you to test out Darwinism in action again. But here in the United States, we're not going to go backwards. We're about progress. So the next time somebody complains about the left, remind them that really, they're just talking about all the rest of us.